We're here with Brittany Tavares, fitness competitor and Nutrabolics athlete manager. Thanks so much for being here, Brittany.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about how you got in the industry.
Wow, yeah, it all started when I first started competing. So I first started competing about 5 or 6 years ago, and I got my feet wet with the whole industry, and then from there I just started competing at least three shows per year. And then what ended up happening was I became an athlete for Nutrabolics, and I ended up becoming athlete manager.
Nice.
So there was a lot of room to grow within the company, and it just really opened my eyes to the whole industry, which is great.
Nice. So, I mean, you've been in the industry now for a while, and what do you think, like from your perspective, you've seen the biggest change in the industry over the years?
Oh, I'm definitely going to have to say social media. The social media marketing game is just next to none. Like, if you're a supplement company, or if you're in the supplement industry and you're not on top of your social media game, it's going to be real tough to compete with the other competitors. So, that just goes to show, along with the other athletes and, the whole industry in itself, the social media game has stepped up. So that's one of the things that I've seen that has grown tremendously over the years, especially when I first started. And that's not too long ago, though. That was like 5 years ago.
Tell us a little bit about like your social media. I follow your social media. You're very active. Can you give us some tips and like give us kind of like an overview on how you handle your social media?
Definitely, be consistent with your posting. I noticed that, my followers are always expecting a certain, there's a theme, there's the type of content that you post, there's the fitness stuff, and just being very informative. Like, don't just post like a caption saying happy hump day, for example. Be knowledgeable, give your followers some knowledge that they can learn from, and be consistent with your posting as well.
Is there anybody that you look up to as a fitness competitor right now?
Fitness competitor, I'm not sure about fitness competitor, but fitness influencer, the person that's in the game, obviously Paige Hathaway. She's on point.
Yeah. And what do you got coming up? Tell us a little about your schedule for competing and anything that's coming up for you.
For competing, I've actually taken a couple years off. So I made it to, so I'm a figure competitor, and I was at national level, and I went to go obviously fight for that pro card. So after that, I took a little bit of a break just to give my body, that break that it needs from, years of competing. So it had been about 4 years and 6 shows, I believe, and they were kind of back to back to back. So I needed a little bit of a break. So right now I think I might actually compete next year, but I'm stepping down from figure and going to bikini.
Wow. So, I mean, right now you've been in the game, you've seen the social media change. I mean, do you have any predictions on what's coming in the future for the fitness industry? Like, do you see any changes?
Any changes for the fitness industry? Not that comes off the top of my head, but other than, if you want to have really great exposure, if you want to be that top athlete, if you want to compete at Olympia, I really feel that social media comes with the game. Those top people that are winning the Olympia prizes and the first place prizes and stuff like that, like, they're on top of their game. They're involved with their followers, their fans. Like, you have to have that Instagram page, have a Facebook page. So it's extremely important to just be very, very involved with your followers and your fans.
What do you look for in athletes right now? Like, what are your core things that you're looking for?
Great question. Right now it's just personality, like, I want people with a personality and that have knowledge about the supplements. So we do get a lot of applications that come from all over the world, but sometimes they don't have that knowledge about the product, or they don't seem that passionate about the brand. So passion and having that knowledge and that personality, that's what I'm looking for, because that comes across social media. When that person takes the photo or they interact with their followers, people can really read a person's personality and how real they are through their social media. So right now that's extremely important to me, and the ability to also be present during, like, with the camera. So if you have that personality, you're able to speak in front of the camera, you're able to explain, certain products and ingredients and things like that, then that's my type of athlete.
Nice. And I mean, for you, right now, are you training, like tell us a little about your training schedule. Like what's that look like?
My training schedule right now is 5 times a week. So I like to do each body part per day. So like one day will be arms, the next day will be legs, next day will be say core and cardio. So right now I'm taking a little bit easy during the winter, but my cut is coming up. So during the summer, that's when things change a little bit. Cardio goes up, HIIT. I love HIIT. I'm a big fan of HIIT, and I truly believe in the cardio game for getting shredded. And the diet especially is extremely important, which is awesome because keto carb just came out, so that's going to be my #1 product in my cutting schedule.
Nice, nice. And how does your boyfriend handle you when you're dieting? Give us a little bit, like, how does Paul handle that?
How do I handle him? You mean how does he handle?
Yeah.
How do I handle him?
Yeah.
So it's crazy because when we met, we were actually both competing. So we kind of, we already understood how each other worked when we were both dieting and how we were, low carbs and a little moody. So, after especially 5 years, he really understands what can upset me or what kind of throws me off, or when I go quiet, I'm just like in a bad mood because of the whole diet thing. So we work really well together when it comes to that type of stuff. So after 5 years, you kind of just know the ins and outs of the relationship.
Nice, nice. So
especially when dieting.
A lot of people don't know this, but you guys actually live together, work together, and I mean,
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that. How's that?
Yeah, so everyone asks me, like, how do you do it? Because, I mean, you're in a relationship and you do every single thing together. We work together, we gym together, we go grocery shopping together. So, I mean, he has his office, and my office is kind of in the kitchen area. I have an office here. So he does his thing, I do my thing. And we're literally all Nutrabolics, like all day long. Like that's all we talk about, and we work together because he's the US sales director. So if he needs people in the US, I work together with him. If he needs some promos or giveaways, like we work really well together because he's here, so we can talk. So it just works really well. I know some people it's very difficult to work with their spouse, but yeah, we just work really well together, and our ultimate goal is to just do our best. So we're all Nutrabolics here, so it makes it easier because if like if we have something to talk about, then we can just like make it work.
Nice, nice. So, I mean, for you, Brittany, how do you perform? Like, give us some of the tips like that you would do to get into the game.
So I actually studied imagery and how it affects performance in my master's when I was going to school. So I went to school for 6 long years. And so imagery is one of my main things because there's lots of studies that have, concluded or have shown a strong positive correlation in using imagery in increasing performance or self-efficacy, which is like your confidence in sport. So if you imagine something happening, if you imagine yourself, say, working out or winning that competition or whatever it is, you actually create new neural circuits in your brain. So you can actually train yourself by just imagining something and making it happen. So then when you actually go out, say, to compete and walking on stage, it's actually as if you already practiced that just by imagining it. So imagery is my #1 thing that I use to perform.
Nice.
It's one of my main key things.
Nice. And I mean, for you, what's your supplement stack look like these days? Give us a rundown on that.
My supplement stack is definitely isobolic, vitabolic, carnibolic, and anabolic state.
Nice.
So I'm keeping it very, very easy. I'm soon going to be, since I'm going to cut down and try and shred down, I'm going to be adding Semtex. And because I'm going to be doing a little bit of the keto diet, I'm going to be adding keto carb as well.
Nice. So, I mean, upcoming for you, is there something that like stands out that people could like find you or check you out? Or do you have any shows coming up where if there's fans out there and they want to come see you, is there anything at all?
Stay tuned for next year. So I'm just going to be focusing this year on kind of, I dropped down from figures, so I was kind of just taking a little bit of time off to lose a little bit of muscle mass. And then after this year, split the next year, that's when I think I'll be making a bikini debut.
Nice, nice. And if people want to check you out, just plug yourself. Where can people check you out?
Brittany Tavares _ on Instagram.
Nice. Is there anything you want to ask me or Nutrabolics right now?
What's your perform, Jayson? What's your perform?
I think my perform is, you know, I like to get up and I like to really hit my anabolic state, hit some thermal ecstasy, grab a book, hit the treadmill, and I like to read and walk. You know, like that's really that's how I kind of get into the zone. Is I like to like get the information, usually like business or marketing or something that's really gonna like inspire me for the day. And then I find that really gets me going. And then after I do that for about 45 minutes, I usually hit my car and I'll like text like a madman, like ideas, and or like I'll get on the phone. And that's kind of how I perform, and I try to do that, you know, 5 days out of the week. And it seems to be, you know, I've been doing that for almost like 18 years. And it's been, yeah, and I'm pretty consistent. So, you know, I find that I'm reading probably like, 5 books a month, just doing that. It's crazy.
Yes,
yeah.
I agree with you. I try to at least do 1 book a month. That's my goal. But I'm with you. If you read like books, like knowledge is passed down from generation to generation. So if you can just increase your knowledge, then knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. All right. Well, listen. Thanks so much for joining us, Brittany. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Jayson.
Take care.